I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. Keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on.
Automobilista 2 is created by Ryzen and started mainly as a Brazilian motorsport series simulator. It is now branched out to the likes of GT3, GT4 and other cars I'll get into later. AMS2 uses the Madness engine, although it's an old engine now being used for Project Cars 1 and 2. It still holds up extremely well. It uses the proprietary LiveTrack 3.0, which provides real-time information of current state-of-the-art track services, which is key to true simulated real track services. The Madness engine in AMS2 provides extremely detailed VR graphics, which have, in my opinion, the best VR visuals in a racing simulator, and is one of the reasons I keep coming back to this sim. I wholeheartedly play mostly in VR using my HP Reverb G2, and this is where AMS2 really shines. The visual crispness of the vehicle detail and track detail is just outstanding in AMS2, and comparing to other sims that support VR, performance is excellent even in multi-vehicle races in wet weather. That being said, there are a few instances where the game slows down on some tracks in different situations. Slowly those problems are being fixed. Some memory leaks and bits and pieces that will eventually get fixed in the game as well. So far the in-game content is good, but I would definitely like to see more car manufacturers in the game. This could be just licensing issues that hopefully get fixed soon. There is plenty of DLC in the game, which they are drip feeding us slowly. There are plenty of great tracks in the game. We have some of the best Brazilian tracks in any sim. All the tracks we love the driver here, including my favourite, the Great Nordschleife Green Hell, which in my opinion is one of the best versions to be implemented into a sim. We have a good selection of old and new F1 cars here, with some excellent cars, with one of my favourite F1 cars, the Gen 2 V10. The Formula Ultimate, which is Ryzen's version of the newer F1 cars, which in my opinion is just terrible. The car doesn't feel like it should. It feels extremely arcadey. It feels glued to the road. It just doesn't feel right to me, so I'd steer clear of that one. We have the Brazilian series with a range of really good stock cars, utes, Brazilian former trainers and trucks. The prototype section, which has some P1, P2, P3 cars, with the P2 and P3 cars are the best in the category to drive, in my opinion, and the most fun to race. As with the Group C cars, the sound of the engines in these cars, the Porsche and the Mercedes, are just amazing inside and out. We have a great selection of GTE, GT1, 2, 3 and 4 cars with Ginetta and Ultima classes. Great fun to race in single player or with friends online. With a Porsche GTE, another of my favourites, with incredible car audio inside and out. The car just is crisp and sounds amazing. The DTM cars are few and far between in this game, but plenty of fun to drive, the little BMW and Mercedes. They are good fun to drive, especially if you have a manual shifter. We've got classics. Grand Prix cars are very popular and amazing in VR. These cars feel ultra realistic in my opinion. They're fantastic to drive. They sound really good inside and out. Very immersive to drive in VR also, the old classic Grand Prix cars. There's also karts in the game, with one of the best kart tracks in sim history being Buskerud. They're just amazing. It's a big track. It sort of climbs up the side of a mountain and weaves around. It's got everything in a kart track that you'd want. It looks impressive as well in AMS2. excellent kart racing, in my opinion, with Automobilista. There is a championship mode. I personally not a big fan of the championship mode, not until they finally tune the AI a little bit better in this game. AMS2's AI is good, it's getting better, but is not amazing. So I don't wholeheartedly recommend the championship mode just yet. It can be fun if you like that kind of thing, but for me, I'd like the AI to be a bit better to be doing a championship mode. AMS2 has a fantastic time trial section in the sim, which can be very addictive when trying to get the top 10 of world record times with a lot of different car and track combinations. You can even download player ghosts, and you can race against those ghosts. You can even copy their car setups if they've allowed it. You can click the little spanner icon next to, once the track is loaded, you see the little spanner symbol there, and you can click on it, and you can actually download their car setup. And that can also help you with fine-tuning your own suspension setups as well. AMS2's car physics and car handling have been somewhat of a turn-off to many sim racers, and rightly so. People are complaining about the sticky diff problem, and just in general the car's not feeling realistic compared to the likes of Assetto Corsa, Competizione and iRacing. Many updates have happened since and have greatly improved car physics and car handling to make the game much more bearable. The default setups have also been changed now, give much more realistic and a loose feel compared to the stiff feel in previous versions. The cars used to feel very planted in certain situations, and just all of a sudden would just break away and just not feel right. They've definitely fixed that up. It feels a lot more loose, and it feels like you can tune that a lot more now. It's still not absolutely perfect, but in my opinion it's good enough for me to really enjoy AMS2. Onto the graphics, AMS2 still uses the Madness engine, as I previously mentioned in the start, but still holds up to today's standards and is very impressive indeed. Changing weather effects can be set as time of day can be, and time speed. The lightning effects and storm effects in the game are just mind-blowing, especially in VR. So immersive, with beautiful sunsets, amazing storm and rain effects, just outstanding. The rain on the windscreen, the wiper effects, just awesome. AMS2 in my opinion has the best graphics to performance compared to other sims, especially in VR. The detail in car interiors looks so good, especially in VR, and make the game very immersive to play in VR. There are plenty of graphical effects to play around with in the game, to your liking. With AMS2's multiplayer, it's one of the main reasons why a lot of people don't play AMS2. The multiplayer system just doesn't work perfectly well. Yes, there is a ranking system now, but it needs a lot of work still, a lot of fine-tuning. They should make that a complete different stage on AMS2. They need to separate that from AMS2 and just fix that, because once they set up the multiplayer properly and have a really good ranking system, a lot more people will be buying AMS2, I think. So basically, if you are looking for a wholehearted multiplayer experience, you should probably look elsewhere, because it is a bit of a crash fest in AMS2. You should look at probably Assetto Competizione, iRacing, or even Race Room has a very good ranking system. Force feedback in AMS2. The force feedback engine has recently been tuned with updates and has, in my opinion, some of the best force feedback in sim racing. Config files can be downloaded from Race Department. People have tuned these config files to different wheel setups, and can give incredible detail no matter what wheel you have. I've previously used the G29, Thrustmaster TSPC, and now the CSL-D by Fanatec. And both have tried lots of different ways, and you can really fine-tune the force feedback, especially if you use one of these downloaded config files. You can also tune those config files yourself. You can just go through them, have a look at them, and tune things the way you like. They have extremely good detail, in my opinion, AMS2's force feedback, and yeah, definitely one of the best in sim racing, I reckon. So with the conclusion of AMS2, if you want to get into sim racing, I can very much recommend AMS2, especially if you want to eventually play in VR. Like I said before, AMS2 really shines in single player and in VR aspect of the game. There are plenty of cars to race. You can just jump into Automobilista 2's great and easy to use interface. Pick a car, pick a track, and set up a race, set up the weather, set up the time of day, and just jump in, have fun. Single player is where AMS2 shines as VR, in my opinion. Altogether, create an excellent package for Automobilista 2 if you're starting, and if you want to continue sim racing. It's just an excellent sim. There are still a lot of things to be fixed with the car handling system, but I use all the sims out there. I even play a set of Corsa Competizione, and yes, AMS2 does feel different, but I don't have a problem with you do find that you can adapt to the handling of AMS2 because it is a little bit different. A lot of people will probably buy the game if they do fix the handling even more, and if they fix the multiplayer aspect of AMS2, more people again are going to jump into the game, and it will make the game probably one of the best sims that you can buy. There is also an AMS2 demo on Steam, which you can try AMS2 for free. There are the Volkswagen cars, the TSI Cup cars that you can try for free. I think there is a multiplayer event there that you can try as well for free. So if you want to try it first, I could probably recommend just to download the demo on Steam and see how you go with that. There is a lot of download content for the game. It can be a bit expensive if you buy it all in one hit. I would definitely recommend to buy the game and see how you go, and if you want all the content, if you like the way it plays, then you can buy all the content by all means. But it's definitely not as expensive as the likes of iRacing. If you do full-on multiplayer with iRacing, you've got to be buying all the cars and tracks, and AMS2 isn't like that. But then again, AMS2 isn't wholeheartedly a great multiplayer game anyway. So that's it, guys. I can recommend AMS2. Most of you that have already been watching my channel see I have a lot of AMS2 content, so it is enjoyable. It's only going to get better. They will add more content, more fine-tuning, but even now, definitely worth the buy, guys. I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, I really appreciate it if you leave it a thumbs up. It's going to help my channel out. Leave a comment, and if you like, and we'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.